Hey guys, welcome back to the video. As always, we're going to be going ahead and breaking down the offensive line play from our last game versus the Cleveland Brownies in this video to see how everything shakes out. So for context here, if you guys remember, this is after they went right down the field on us with a 67-yard run and then fumbled on the 1-yard line. Preceding that, they jumped off sides. So we are starting this game off at the 5-yard line after a neutral zone infraction on the defense. And as always, I'm going to get an angle here of what we got here, which of course, let's start off with our offensive linemen. So we got Cody Ford right here, Cordell Volson. So left tackle is going to be Cody Ford starting off this game. This does change later on in the game, but this is obviously Teddy K. We got Kappa. Okay, my writing skills is not the greatest. And then we have Mims. So this is our starting lineup. This will stay the same for the beginning of this game. It will change once Mims does end up leaving the lineup due to him and Frank Pollock getting in an argument. But that's going to be later on in this game. So the first play we go ahead and run the ball. And as always, love Chase Brown. Absolutely love it. And you can see right here, you actually have a defender going this way, which, to be honest, I mean, you have like clean grass ahead of you there. Good block right here by Drew Sample, which, as always, just doing his job. And this is actually a pass play. Oh, I wish we would have ran that ball. Actually, the reason why this defender went like that was because of the fact that he threw it over here. So if he would have handed it off, I mean, I think Chase Brown still would have gotten a crap ton of yards. He would have obviously been the one guy that would have been the issue there. But he ends up throwing it to the left-hand side, and that's a completion. For the most part, just a breakdown here. Offensive line play, not bad for this first play. Everyone has their guy for the most part. We have Drew Sample actually one-on-one with him, Cordell Volson with him. So I will say the first play, not bad. It is a wide receiver screen pass, like a bubble screen. But actually doesn't work out too bad. So this is going to be a run play. After that mismatch, which again, we could have ran the ball there and probably got like 5 or 6 yards. So right here, Chase Brown is just probably going to hit the hole, I'm going to guess. And that's exactly what he tries to do. A lot of times when Chase Brown does run, it ends up closing in real fast because the line can't block long enough. Again, just an issue of the offensive line and problems in that department. Next play later, we do go ahead and do a play action. Looks like a play action, but we hand it off here to Jamar Chase. And Chase is going to gain a crap ton of yards right there. Even when I'm watching the game live, I definitely did miss that run play right there by Chase. I didn't miss it, but I kind of forgot about it. Some of these plays, when we go back, I kind of forget about some of these plays. But let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is Mims one-on-one with, I'm going to say that's Myles Garrett. We have 2-on-1 here with an extra guy just in case something happens there. One-on-one there, one-on-one there. Clean pocket. Joe has all day to throw it on this play. Again, starting off the game looking good. Gotta love it. See? That might be a little bit of holding, but hey, it is what it is. A little bit of holding right there, but it ends up being a pass right there to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase gets the first down and some, breaks a tackle, making plays as always. Gotta love Chase always open. Man's always open. So next play later, we do go ahead and run the ball. And works out so well here. It's kind of a combo here of Amarius Mims and Kappa here, who are able to just create this hole right here for our boy Chase Brown. You see right there, bam, just that hole that develops. And great play right there by Chase Brown. Great play by the offensive line. Great play by Chase Brown. starting off this game, I will actually give the offensive line credit. It looked a lot worse in real time, but actually didn't play that atrociously starting off. All right, next play later. We have a lot of line in here. So we're double teaming this guy right here. This is a double team. He's in limbo, who's really just watching either free blitzer there. We have a block here, one-on-one here, and then his job is to kind of make sure, just in case either guy needs help, he's going to be the extra helper right there. And again, we really, and I've realized this over the last couple games now, we're really getting away with a lot of these hands to the face penalties. We're getting away with a lot of these, and it is what it is, but definitely I hope they tell Amarius Mims here, you know, hey, listen, this against the Chiefs, this is called 100% of the time. They're going to call this 100% of the time versus Kansas City Chiefs. If you're in a key situation in the end of the game where, you know, one play matters, they're going to call this every single time. So you got to stop doing that. I know it's obviously working, but in certain situations, you're not going to be able to get away with that. And Amarius does that a lot in games. It's a very big part of his game, is to hold the guy by their head and twist their head when they're coming around. And again, that's a penalty. You can't do that. So right here, a solid block. Actually, really, the biggest thing here is T. T goes ahead and chips this guy, which doesn't let him get to Chase Brown. And now what you have is a one-on-one, and you can see daylight. I mean, that's absolute daylight to the end zone there. Now, Chase does end up going ahead and having to slow down a little bit, trying to get that block from Teddy K. But just all-around greatness right there. Next play later, we do have a little bit motion in the ocean for Yoshi. It is a pass play, one-on-one here off the outside for Cody Ford. One-on-one here, one-on-one. We have another one-on-one. You can see Cordell Volson's job here is to help out Cody Ford. And this, again, something we have done so many times this year, is kind of using that lineman to your advantage to help out the other lineman, where you might not always be engaged in a double team, for example, but sometimes you just have them as like an extra leverage one. So you do have a coverage guy here who obviously is watching this area, because what you could do is just run right at the quarterback, but then Joe would see that and then throw it over top of your head. So, but again, like I said, for the most part, everyone has their guy, which is good. Let's see. Yeah. There's eventually going to be a big call on us that loses us a game, because they're going to call that. They're going to call that eventually. It's not to a point where it's so egregious that you instantly call it, but it's definitely to a point where, you know, you're going to eventually get it called. So now you have a double team on the outside there. You have him, and now you have this problem, which is Chase Brown out of the backfield, one-on-one right here. So this is where Teddy K gets beat on this play. Joe has to move, has to kind of get around. Amarius Mims pushes him down. I mean, this is forever in the pocket. To the offensive line credit, they had forever in the pocket for this, and he threw the touchdown, which, listen, is crazy as can be that he was not down when he threw this. Because, like, yeah, no, he's not down either. That's still crazy. Even watching it back, man, Joe is a different animal. Like, there is no describing Joe Burrow. He is an absolute different animal. But next drive later, hit him with a play action pass. And this is why, again, the play action so deadly. You can see this guy right here. He has to literally go from going like this and cutting back, which obviously completely destroys him on this play. Takes him out and doesn't let him chase down Joe enough. Joe has two options, one deep, one intermediate. Which one is he going to take? My guess is Actually, he doesn't. He actually takes Chase. He doesn't take either option. Oh, he did actually have that deeper option too. Look. He had that deeper option down the field. But instead he took Chase. Which, and again, if you're like, well, what about safety help? There is no safety help. He had this guy, and I believe that's Yoshi, I want to say. No, number 80. Yeah, Yoshi. He had Yoshi booty butthole naked for a touchdown. That's a touchdown right there. No safety help. Deeper play down the field. He took Chase instead. Chase gets a first down and some, but that's a touchdown to Yoshi 99% of the time if he took Yoshi on that play. Obviously, listen, in the end, it is what it is, but that is definitely a touchdown. One-on-one, you got one-on-one here. Two on, actually not two-on-one. You can see the foot right here. You have one-on-one, one-on-one. Okay. Joe all day to throw it. Again, I mean, I can't even say, like, obviously the grades is why we always talk about when it comes to PFF grades. Take them with a grain of salt because they don't always tell the full story. But to be honest, like, the line looking good so far. Now, this situation, this is when it sucks to be a running back, right? Because there really isn't any good scenario here. You can't run up here because this is all blocked. This is all blocked. You can't actually go through here. So you got two options if you're Chase Brown. Cut back here, right? Risk this guy pulling off and meeting you here. Or go to the outside here, which you're going to have to deal with this guy. So this is a situation where you just get as many yards as you can and try to just make the best out of a bad situation. Like, that's just a bad situation across the board. Nothing really he could do in that situation other than just take the L. But next play later is going to be a play action pass. You got 1-2 guys on this. You got one-on-one here, one-on-one here. His job kind of watch the free blitzer, any blitzer. You got 85, and you got my man over here, one-on-one with an edge rusher. I believe that's Myles Garrett right here. You got to love that the blind side is being blocked. Oh my lordy, look at that. Bro, Myles Garrett is a different human. You got you got Cody Ford and obviously Cam Grandy trying to hold back Myles Garrett. There is no holding back Myles Garrett. But listen, that line, all universe. That line is all universe, baby. Throws a pass, completion, moves the chains. Let's go. Next play later. All right, let's stop here. Good. This is what I'm talking about, though. Because, like, again, this is how he needs to block. It's just the occasional grabbing the head and trying to hold the guy back that's going to be the biggest problem. You can see right here, Cody Ford is getting beat on the play. Volson has his guy. Teddy K, his job is to give reinforcements, if that. Kappa, one-on-one. Joe, all day to throw it. Clean pocket, throws it, completion, moves the chains. And again, like I said, you know, grades looked awful. Play doesn't look as bad. This play right here, Teddy K just gets... quit out Volson, look at this. So this is why this run doesn't work. Right there. Quidal Volson gets pushed right aside. Guy gets right in the backfield and gets Chase Brown. And Chase Brown only gets a couple yards because of that one. Because of Quidal Volson messing up and getting beat. Which, again, that's what really our run problems have been, is our offensive line play. So right here, we got 2-on-1 right here. We got 2-on-1 right here. We got 1-on-1. We got 1-on-1. 2-on-1 again over here. So, you got Drew Sample and Cody Ford. So, what Drew Sample is doing here, by the way, he's going 1-on-1 with Myles Garrett. He needs to get a more love and affection than this, bro. Man's going 1-on-1 with one of the best pass rushers in the league. And he's actually holding his own. he's holding his own pretty well. Cody Ford does come in and help, but still. So the point of this play, by the way, for Drew Sample, is called a block and release play. Your job is to block, help the offensive lineman out, and then you peel off and you go out for a pass, and you become a receiver, right? You usually become a guy where the defense isn't accounting for you, which obviously when Joe rolls out right here, which he has to because Myles Garrett's going to get pushed like this, Joe has to roll up. He's going to have two options, which is this, or you could check it down to Drew Sample. He has two options on the play. He ends up choosing the option B, which is, he's about to get hit. You can see right here, look. T is waving. T saying, hey, open. Joe, I'm open. Joe knows he's going to get hit because he knows this guy is coming full power at him. So Joe knows I'm going to get hit on the play. Might as well just throw it. And then it ends up being a wild pass because he gets hit. He gets crunched as he throws it. But it sucks so bad because if Joe could hit T right here, you see how wide open T. Higgins truly is. And that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown right there 100% of the time. Because T. Higgins wide open on that play. 100%. There's not even a defender in sight. I don't know what happened with the Browns defense there, but that was just a awful, awful play by the Browns defense. And then we missed the 47-yard field goal, which even adds insult to injury. You have a wide open touchdown right there, and then we miss a 47-yard field goal. Oh, that sucks so bad. Again, it makes it even worse that we missed the field goal. All right, so now we have this weird angle because of where we are on the field. So let's just watch this. This is a run play up the middle. Nothing really there, again, for Chase Brown. Kind of just have to take what you can get. Let's see, next play later. It's a pass play. Cody Ford, why are you standing there? Why are you looking at a defender like Myles Garrett who is going to go straight for your quarterback, bro? Hold up. Is this a screen pass? This is not a screen pass. Cody Ford just gets absolute. Okay, so he did a spin move. Watch that. Watch Myles Garrett does a spin move completely. So now Joe has to throw it right now because guy's getting right to Joe, right? That's blocked. That's blocked. The line is good. But Joe's about to get absolutely crunched. Joe has to throw the ball. He throws it. Completion. Right there. Gets some yardage. Not a first down, but does get some yardage. And obviously this brings up the third down and long. Which brings up a one-on-one here. Blocked. Literally a 3-on-1 against Myles Garrett. Lordy. One-on-one. One-on-one. Pocket clean, pocket protected. Joe has time. Joe has time. Joe has to roll out, though. Nobody's open. Joe rolls out. Myles Garrett chases him down. Joe just has to throw it away. Incomplete on the play. So, again, the third down and long, just simply, again, I guess nobody gets open. He has time to throw that ball. He has time to, make the play, but nobody gets open on the play. Which, again, like I said, could be a play call problem or whatever. Right here, Myles is going to go right around to Joe here. Right around Cody Ford. Other than that, you have a 2-on-1 here. You have a 1-on-1 here. And you have a 1-on-1 here. So it goes right around. Joe has to throw the ball as he's about to get crunched by Myles Garrett. Obviously, Cody Ford, again, like I said, not, for the most part, had a pretty decent game so far against him, but still, that's Myles Garrett. I'm not going to blame him too much for that. We have a counter run right here, which actually ends up being a play-action pass, which, oh my, bro. You know what's bad is when your offensive lineman, Kappa, is literally jumping over the player, grabbing the player by the neck, and flying off of him. Myles Garrett wanted a sack badly. And it was... even Chase Brown tried to chip him and could not chip him. It had... Look at this. Drew Sample comes in and chips Myles Garrett as much as he can. Ball flutters up, and then Chase catches the ball. That was a absolute travesty. Now, right here, you can see, again, Drew Sample one-on-one with Myles Garrett, which, again, because Cody Ford can't block him. Cody Ford couldn't stop Myles Garrett. So, I guess what we decided to do was, hey, why not put Cody Ford, if he can't stop him, Drew Sample, you're going to do a block and release play every play. You chip him off as long as you can, run around, go run your play, and Cody Ford, your job is to hopefully slow him down a little bit. Which, obviously, on this play here, Cordell Volson gets pushed back. You have two guys on the ground and Myles Garrett running at your quarterback. Oh my lordy, bro. Look at this. Goes right. Spin moves both of them. And we find a pass down the field caught. But still, Myles Garrett is a different animal, to say the least. And he is cooking this offensive line right here. Run play right here. You can see the hole opens up absolute beautifully. Chase Brown is going to take that hole and make some yardage, or make as many yards as he can on that play. Next play later, Mims one-on-one. One-on-one here with Kappa. We got Cordell Volson and Teddy K 2-on-1. One-on-one out here, and Drew Sample one-on-one out there as well against Myles Garrett. Which, I mean, I will say Cody Ford does a good job against number 92. Actually does a pretty good job of, not allowing the play to happen, or, guy get to the quarterback. Again, listen, I can't really blame Cody Ford when he's going against Myles Garrett. I really can't. It's hard to blame someone and say, oh, yeah, you couldn't stop Myles Garrett. Yeah, 99% in the league can't stop that man. It's like TJ Watt, 99% in the league is not going to stop TJ Watt either. All right, so next play later, it's going to be a pass play here. So Joe, a couple times this game so far, has changed the play at the line of scrimmage. So hike it. Cody Ford one-on-one. Against Myles Garrett, one-on-one here, one-on-one here. He's in limbo, kind of just see where he needs to block. He's one-on-one as well. So not many times do we see this one-on-one across the board. Cody Ford gets the best of Myles Garrett there. Joe takes off, throws, and it's a wild, no one could catch that ball because Joe got crunched throw. Which really you can't blame the offensive line for. Joe ran out of the pocket. Pass play here. So this is going to be a chip off. Chase Brown chips off Myles Garrett. Helps out Cody Ford. One-on-one, two-on-one, and one-on-one here. Joe has all day to throw it. Throws it, and it's going to be a incomplete pass. Actually, wait. Yeah, this was an incomplete pass to T. Higgins in the end. It is what it is. It did result in a Yoshi touchdown, though. So I guess in the end it worked out. Next play later. That's blocked. That's blocked. Joe has time. Let's see. Throws it. Yoshi touchdown. Let's go, baby. All right, not bad. So Yoshi scores. Next drive later. Let's cook with some grease here, boys. All right, next drive later. Let's hike the ball. Stop. Right here, one-on-one. Now, they did move Myles Garrett around a little bit. So, we have kind of like a combo here. One-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. This is two-on-one. And actually, Myles Garrett is not on this play. Now that I realize this. Yeah, Myles Garrett is not on this play. And this one is going to be a little bit of a interesting scenario. So the guy who gets to Joe ends up getting to Joe because 97 knocks down Kappa, and it's just going to go straight forward to Joe Burrow here. And once Kappa goes down, Joe has to move up in the pocket, try to run. Cody Ford loses his guy. So Joe tries to roll forward. Joe ends up breaking that sack, breaking another sack, and then dropping it down to Drew Sample. I swear, Joe is not real, bro. Like, there's amount of times Joe could get sacked, but doesn't because of how, like, great he is at being mobile is amazing. You can see right there, hole opens up. And, of course, that hole will close very quickly. But still, Chase Brown gets the most yards he can. Which, again, like I said, if our offensive line could, you know, hold their blocks a tad bit longer sometimes, it would be nicer. Next play. Play action pass. We have ourselves, this is a screen pass? This is not a screen. It looked like a screen pass at first. But, I mean, I think Joe just throws it away. So, next play later, we run the ball right up the middle. Again. Okay, well, hold up. There we go. So, we run the ball right up the middle here. Again, 43 ends up trying to track down Chase Brown. Very nifty, very good at avoiding that. Let's skip forward a little bit. We're going to end up with a 59-yard field goal in this drive, I believe. This is the drive right before halftime. So you see this a lot when we see this a lot, period, is that when we know they're going to blitz or bring the house, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 linemen, technically. 7 blockers, right? And also, this is when Mims was out. This is when Mims had a fight with Frank Pullock, and Devin Cochran comes in at right tackle. He came in right tackle for this whole drive, but this is when, and again, 7 blockers here. 1 peels off with Drew Sample. Joe, all day to throw it. Looks, you can see right here, this guy's getting beat. Going to go straight for Joe here. This is, I believe, Devin Cochran that we have on our screen here. So that is Devin Cochran. So Cochran has to push him back. Joe can roll up and take off running and show some wheels right there. Again, that was actually, ironically enough, for Devin Cochran's point there, that was actually a good play by him because he got the defender away from Joe and pushed him out of the play, which didn't allow him to impact the play at all. Next play later, Cody Ford gets beat by Myles Garrett and gets right to Joe for a sack. Which, again, just stupid plays like that absolutely got demolished. Which, it sucks. Next play later, Kappa. That's why the blocking is so great. Look at that. Guy goes straight through Kappa, straight to Joe. 101, 212, 101, 101. And goes straight through. Gets to Joe. Joe has to throw the ball away. You know, just, again, awful offensive line play there. Which for most of this game, they actually played pretty dang good. Right here, for example, not bad. Joe has a clean pocket, throws the ball. It's a completion for a couple yards. We end up kicking a 59-yard field goal attempt right here. Shout out to Cade York for making that because honestly, if we didn't make that, that would have been a very bad situation. But Cade York makes it. He absolutely W-mans right there. Next drive later, it's at a halftime. You can see right here, so Myles Garrett's going to do what he typically does here, which he's going to try to go for the spin move. But you can see Cody Ford actually does a pretty good job of silencing that spin move. Ends up being completion right there to T. Higgins. He's going to gain a couple yards. But really good play right there by Cody Ford. That even when he hit him with a spin move, which has been working the whole game so far, Cody Ford's able to really pick that up and shut that spin move down. Which, again, not something he's been able to do this whole game. And did a really good job on that play of shutting down that spin move by Myles Garrett. Next play later, we have a free blitzer, which is going to be Myles Garrett, the scariest thing to ever hear. But this is purposely meant to be like this. You let the guy go in, and then you just throw it over top the guy's head, and you're going to get a wide receiver screen pass, or a bubble screen as they call it. This ends up being past the right-hand side completion. Kind of a dangerous play in all honesty if you think about it, because again, that is Myles Garrett. He's very athletic, and he has really good hands. So right here, you can see the pocket instantly starting to collapse. Pretty much Teddy K is getting pushed straight back into Joe. Volson is getting beat. You have a double team right here on Myles Garrett. 1-on-1 here. So Joe could step up in the pocket here. But in all honesty, I think 90... he actually really could, to be honest. Because you got to think. This is what's going to happen with Amarius Mims. He's going to push this guy back. He is going to create a kind of like a little blanket here, right? Where Joe can just step up on that left-hand side and be pretty successful. Instead, Joe's going, this 64 is going to push him right back into Joe, and he's going to go to grab Joe, and actually Joe does exactly what I just said. Wow. Good job, Joe. That's exactly what I was just saying. You're going to create that little pocket, and you're going to be able to run through that gap, and he runs for a couple yards. That's ironically enough, I did not even realize that. That's exactly what he does. Great play right there by Joe. Which again, that's exactly what you're supposed to do on that play. You got to run through that little pocket that's created and get as many yards as you can. Make something out of nothing. Right here, Joe has clean pocket to throw it. He throws the ball, and this is going to be the last play of this drive because it's an incomplete pass. So now bringing up the next drive after that. It's going to go ahead and be a 1st down 10 here. Let's go ahead and come to this play. Let's see. Hike it. Play action pass. Chase Brown's going to kind of try to help create that little bit of pocket. It does collapse very quickly, I will say. But Joe throws the ball down the field. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Jamar Chase. Next play later, we have ourselves a quick pass to the left-hand side. Actually, well, right-hand side technically, but our left. But you can see 1-on-1. Cody Ford is out here to block. Again, Devin Cochran would be the right tackle for the rest of the game. So we no longer have Amarius Mims. It is what it is. Conklin doesn't play the best, but he doesn't play the worst either. Next play later. 2-on-1 on Myles Garrett. You can see right here, Chase Brown chips off 54. Mims is watching. 2-on-1 here, 1-on-1 here. And this is just simply going to be, again, number 9 here. So number 9, you can see he blitzes late. So what he's going to look at is right there, straight to Joe. So he's waiting, blitz right at Joe, gets right to Joe and sacks him. So again, that's just kind of like the delayed blitz type of angle. Works out very well to get into Joe there and get in that sack on that play. Next drive later, we run the ball with Chase Brown. I always hate it when Chase Brown gets tackled like that. Because you could tell Chase is like on... He could easily bust that away for a 70-yard run. Let's look at Devin Cochran. Okay, so how did this work? So Devin Cochran, the guy goes to put a move on Cochran, kind of slips off of Cochran and falls to the ground. Then Joe obviously gets sacked on the play. So you see Myles Garrett 1-on-1 on the outside here, right? He's going to get straight around Cody Ford. Then Cochran has this like mess-up play, which is going to allow the defender to fall to the ground, but pretty much be able to get to Joe. Joe tries to step up, which obviously Teddy K is going to get pushed back into Joe, and then ends up being a sack on the play. And again, that was just all-around mess. Left and right tackle in that play just got absolutely annihilated. Pass play here, pocket collapsing. Joe throws. It's caught by Mike Gesicki, but that is not a 1st down. So that's going to bring up a change of downs because we're going to have to punt the ball, which again, just ugh. All right, next play. This is going to be the next drive later. We go ahead and hit him with a run play. Chase Brown gets a good chunk of yards up the middle here. And I will say so far, we really did not try to run the ball that much. Like at this point, yes, we are running the ball a lot, but we did not run the ball a lot this whole entire game. Like, even with 90 rushing yards, there's a lot of good chunk plays, but man, we struggled when it came to running the football. I don't know, it just doesn't, I mean, every time we ran the football, we didn't struggle. Every time we ran the football, we did good. We just didn't call it. That's what I'm trying to say. We ran it good, we just didn't call it. We didn't call enough run plays, I feel like. So this is just a screen pass to the left-hand side caught by Jamar Chase. He gets down to inside the 5. This is the fumble, the stupid fumble. So we run the ball first play, nothing, right? Run the ball second play, nothing. Then Joe does a play-action pass, rolls out, and it ends up being a stupid fumble, which again, frustrating as all can be. And look at that. Just barely gets touched too, and just Butterfingers Joe. Butterfingers Joe. So this is the last drive of the game. Ran the ball a couple plays, and then we went deep to Jamar Chase for the touchdown, which obviously was the game sealer in the end here. Which, in all honesty, even on this touchdown, you can see that middle of that line just breaks down. Joe has to throw it last second, ends up getting a touchdown. We win the game, and listen, at the end of the day, the offensive line, they had their struggles in this game. They definitely did. They didn't play perfect. I wouldn't say 1,000% they were like trash or garbage. I would say they're like below average offensive line in this game. But they definitely struggled greatly. See you guys next one, though.